Hello everyone. Today we're going to start with a subject which is called consumer behavior. So before we understand what exactly this subject is and we get deep into it, let's first see what all are we going to go through in this subject. The first chapter that you will be learning is consumer behavior and introduction. So you'll be understanding a lot about what we are going to talk here. That is our basic subject of consumer behavior. Then you'll go on to understand the consumer research process. Then we'll go a step ahead and understand market segmentation and targeting. We'll move on to consumer motivation thereon, and from there, personality and consumer behavior. We are also going to look into consumer perception, consumer learning, consumer attitude formation and change. We're going to see communication and consumer behavior. We're going to understand the family and social class. We're also going to have a look at the influence of culture on consumer behavior and cross cultural consumer behavior, which is going to be more of an international perspective. We're going to see consumers and the diffusion of innovations, consumer decision making, and beyond that. And finally, we're going to end it with marketing ethics and social responsibility. So, I've just taken you through the outline as to how the subject is going to look like. So, let's now start with the very first chapter, which is consumer behavior and introduction. Now, when we talk about consumer behavior, who exactly is a consumer? A consumer is you, a consumer is me, a consumer is anyone who uses a particular product or a service. So, for a business, you are also a consumer, I'm also a consumer. And when we talk about consumer behavior, we are trying to understand how we as consumers behave and respond to certain products, to certain services, to certain circumstances, certain events, etc. It's very important for any business today, in today's world, especially to understand consumer behavior, because all businesses today are focusing on consumers and not just only on their product or service. So, what exactly is consumer behavior? The behavior that consumers display in searching for, purchasing, using, evaluating, and disposing of products and services that they expect will satisfy their needs. So, why do we purchase a particular product? Because we have certain needs which we want to be that they should be fulfilled. So for that particular reason, we go ahead and purchase a particular product. So when we are purchasing a product, what kind of behavior are we displaying? When we are searching for a particular product, what is the kind of thinking that is going on in our mind? When we are using the product, how are we feeling? While we are evaluating the product, whether it's good, bad, when we are done using the product, when we are disposing it off, what exactly is going on in our minds? How are we behaving and reacting? It's very important for companies to know all this behavior. So, all the consumers are unique, but in spite of all the differences, all of us still remain consumers. So, we use a lot of items in our day to day basis like food, clothing, shelter, transport, education, vacations, necessities, luxuries, services, even ideas for that matter. So, what businesses want to know is what are we buying? Why are we buying it? When are we buying it? Where are we buying it? How are we buying it? How often are we buying it? How are we evaluating after purchasing? And what is the impact of this evaluation on future purchases? So, businesses today are interested in knowing the answer to all these questions. Consumers play a very important role, or a vital role, in the health of the economy. Now, why am I saying this? Is because whatever purchase decisions we make as consumers, it affects the local economy, the national economy, as well as the international economy. Because whatever we are purchasing will affect the demand for your basic raw materials, even for transportation, for production, for banking. It will affect the employment of workers, it will affect the deployment of resources. Some industries' successes and some industries' failure depends on what purchase decisions we as consumers make. Talking about consumer behavior, the term actually describes two different kinds of consuming entities. So, we are talking here about two types of consumers. One is a personal consumer, and the other is an organizational consumer. Now, personal consumer is someone like you and me who just buys goods or services for our own use, or maybe we want to use something at home, or maybe if we want to gift a friend or a colleague something. So we are the end users, we are the ones who are going to finally use the product. Whereas when we talk about organizational consumers, this category of consumer is your profit organizations, your businesses, non-profit organizations like your NGOs, government agencies, your institutions like schools, colleges, hospitals. So, all these institutes or all these organizations or businesses usually buy products, equipment, services just because they want to run their organization. So, they purchase not for themselves but for their business.